Hey guys. Okay, so I'm going to try and keep the video pretty short, but I want to talk to you guys about what is coming up next on the agenda, what I've been working on, also what has taken so long, because obviously it's been a little while since we moved along here in the KK. The Turkish episodes took a very long time to make, so I'm going to talk to you about what happened there, what's going on, why that is what it is later on. But before we get into that, some of you may have noticed, maybe not, episode 98, the Stephanie Scott caught scene, that video has not been on the channel or in the KK playlist for probably a couple of months now. I kind of made a mistake and deleted it instead of unlisting it while I was working on a re-upload for it, so it's been gone. And I've been working on that re-upload as best as I could during this time. That copyright claimant does not sign in every day, so it's been kind of difficult. But I believe it is now done, so look for episode 98 coming back out soon. Watch it, give it a like. It'll be back in the playlist. That kind of ties in with what I'm going to talk about later, why things have taken so long. But also episode 136, that is the Chris Jericho China scene in the really dark room from WWE. I guess that video is currently blocked to like 5% of our audience. If you live in India or Afghanistan or like Sri Lanka, if you live in like South Asia, like the far part of the Middle East, there's a possibility it's blocked in your country. Only like 5% of our audience can't see it. It's been an unlisted video since basically I made it. Probably the least popular KK episode of all time, so I'm not going to remake it. It's about impossible to remake anyway. So if you really want to watch that, which most people don't, you got to get a VPN. Sorry about that. They'll probably change their policies and reopen it. I mean, it wasn't always blocked in those countries, so just so you know. But yeah, look for episode 98 coming back soon. Okay, so what's our upcoming agenda? What are we doing? We've talked about this before. Obviously now we are wrapping up the Turkish cycle. Episode 290 is coming your way. It's all done. It's on the channel. It's ready to schedule. It's all done. Claim free. Will not need a re-upload from a delayed claim. It's good to go. Advertiser friendly. We're moving on, and it is phenomenal, and you're gonna love it. It's probably going to move, if it's not currently in your top 10 favorite scenes of all time, I'm pretty sure it's going to end up there, unless you just have something against blondes. I don't know, but it'd be hard for episode 290 to not be in your top 10 list. Anyway, so moving on, we're done with the Turkish stuff. What's coming next? Well, we're not totally done with the Turkish stuff. We'll get to that in a second. Obviously, I told you guys telenovelas are next. That's been the plan for a while. That is coming. The good news there kind of ties into what I'm going to talk to you later. When it comes to copyright claims on the telenovelas, there's going to be a recap. That's how we're going to kick off the telenovelas, with a recap, and then there's going to be 5 new episodes. The recap and 3 of the 5 new episodes are all claimed. They're all owned by the same company. So I know their settings. They're very relaxed settings, so it's not really complicated. And the 2 other scenes, those are 4 Mexican scenes. The 2 other scenes are Colombian scenes. They are not even in the Content ID system. They're older marathon scenes, very long scenes, but they're not even in the system. So I don't have to worry about anything with that, which is nice. So the telenovela cycle is going to be very easy to make. So yeah. I plan on having all of the telenovela scenes done, totally done. The video is all totally done by the middle of June. I don't see any reason why that wouldn't happen. Episode 290, I didn't mention probably before. Episode 290 is going to be released next Thursday, so I believe that is June 3rd. That's when 290 will come out. So after that, then we move into the telenovelas. Like I said, they should all be done by June 15th. And then they'll come out fairly regularly. What is coming after that? We had talked about that before in the past, what's coming after the telenovelas. And we had said we were doing the fan request cycle. And you guys have been sending me stuff, but you guys always send me stuff. And I use it. Episode 284, The Door into Darkness, that was a fan request scene. And it was funny, after someone requested it and I was making it, then somebody else actually went and requested it after I was already doing it. So I do the scenes you guys ask for. Sometimes, I mean, if they're good, if it's something that falls in, if it's something I think that needs to be covered, I do cover them. So you guys have been sending those in. What we're going to do right now, though, as far as a fan request cycle goes, I'm going to have to bump that for now because we got too far behind. We just, it's just taken so long to do the Turkish stuff. We kind of fell behind. So as far as a fan request cycle, I'm going to have to bump that. What we're going to do instead, maybe the end of the year, and we'd only ever done one of those before, episodes 196 through 200 was the only time we ever did that before. We were kind of planning on doing it here again to get to episode 300. That was kind of the plan, but we didn't do it between 96 and 100. So I don't know if it's really going to be an every 100 thing. Maybe it'll be, I don't know. Maybe we'll do that at the end of the year. I just kind of got some other stuff I've got planned. And again, you guys are always sending stuff in and we use them, so I'm kind of going to put that on hold for now. So what are we going to do instead of fan request? Well, we're going to do something called 6 degrees of Turkish separation. We did a 6 degrees cycle way back in 2017 once. That's like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. If you don't know what that is, basically everything's connected to something. So it's going to be 5. There's not going to be a recap. There's going to be 5 more Turkish episodes that are connected to Turkish episodes we've already done. I mean, you guys should, if you know your Turkish scenes, you should probably be able to figure out what's coming there because we have a lot of loose ends to tie up. Obviously, I mean, it's probably no secret, Oslam's Odyssey, started a part 1 of 3. So I've got to complete that. I also told you guys that Kader, I said her name wrong, I called her Cater, and I guess it depends on how you say stuff. Kader from Orphan Flowers, episode 288, I told you she gets it again not long after that. So yeah, it should be pretty obvious, what Turkish scenes are coming for the most part. That's 3 of the 5, Oslam's Odyssey 2 and 3, and then the Conspiracy Kidnapping Complexities continued, and there'll be 2 more also that are connected to Turkish stuff we've already run, because we ran 2 Turkish scenes just in the international cycles, and then the 5 new Turkish scenes, so they're all going to be connected. So part 3 of Oslam's Odyssey is one of the greatest things of all time, and the other 2 are solid. Kader's second time is pretty solid. The other ones are good. Everything there will be good. It's probably not going to be as good as the current Turkish cycle, just because that has like 3 top 50 scenes of all time. And also with that, I have more commentary with those 3 episodes that were so long. Some with Anna, actually, with episode 290. And there's just some other things, some stuff I found after. So I'm probably going to do like a Turkish commentary episode where I talk more about those 3 scenes and have some extra footage that the videos were just too long to put stuff in. So that'll be fun. Let's see what else. We're not, I guess I should tell you what's coming after the 6 degrees of Turkish separation, because I do have something planned to come after that, which is going to be exciting. Very exciting. Because it's a good idea I had, I think. So that'll take us, the extra Turkish stuff, that's going to take us to episode 300. We're going to do something different and unique for right after that. Instead of doing a 5-episode cycle or a couple of them, we're going to do a 10-episode cycle from episodes 301 to 310. Okay, this is a rarity for this. Okay, first time we've done this. What is this going to be? It's going to be an Olympics cycle, kind of. I guess that's what we're going to call it. Because the Summer Olympics are happening this summer. That's going to be around the same time. I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be able to bust out the extra Turkish stuff pretty quickly, because I know 2 of the 5 are claim-free, and the other ones, I'm pretty familiar with the settings of the other ones, so I think I won't have a problem. then what is this Olympic cycle going to be? Well, there's going to be a recap, and you can probably figure out what that recap is going to be just based off what I've already said. That shouldn't be a problem. What it's going to be, it's going to be 10, we're going to do 10 scenes from 10 different countries. So if you were thinking of this is going to be like a glorified international cycle, because we did 3 of those. Remember, we did 3 different international cycles, so 15 different episodes. The scenes, 5 of them were German, 2 were Turkish, 2 were Russian, 2 were from the United Kingdom. So I want to say we only actually covered 8 different countries. It was like 15 scenes from 8 different countries. This is going to be 10 scenes from 10 different countries. And the way it's going to work is they're going to build. So for the first time ever, episode 305 isn't going to be like a main event scene. It's going to, well, I mean, they'll probably still be good. They're all going to be, I'd imagine, pretty good. But as you go, you're going to go 301. 301 is going to be the worst, building up to 310 being the best. And 310 is going to be the gold medalist. 309 will be the silver medalist. 308 will be the bronze medalist. That's how we're going to do it. Again, 10 scenes, 10 different countries. So I've got one thing I'm going to do with that. One of those scenes I'm going to use is the one scene that I had told a fan directly that had requested that I was going to run the scene. There was one fan request episode that a person had sent me all the information. They had time-stamped everything. It's a very long marathon scene that's international, and I was going to pick that for fan request week. I had told them about it. That one is going to be included in this Olympic cycle for sure. That'll represent one country. I do have another one picked already. I have a whole ton of international scenes saved. So I'm going to go through and pick those. You will not be disappointed. Again, 10 scenes from 10 different countries. Some good stuff coming there. And like I said, it'll build to the medalists. So I think that'll be fun. And then you have the recap, which like I said, if you know your KK episodes, you should have no problem guessing what the Olympics recap episode will be. And I apologize in advance because I'm pretty sure that the audio for that episode is not going to be the original audio. It's going to be a different language, unfortunately. The video quality is excellent. I bought official DVDs, but it's for a different country, and they put their audio primary, so I may not be able to have the original audio, so it's no disrespect to the people from that country. Just kind of, you know, what I got to deal with to get the best video quality, which is what we really want to see. You know, for us Americans, we can't tell the difference. Us uneducated Americans, we don't know the difference between the European languages anyway. So all we really care about is the video content. So it's unfortunate, but you know, I like to show everything in its original language. And occasionally I like to show subtitles if I think they're worth seeing, like the telenovela recap has some subtitles in it, because that's an all-time favorite of mine and it's kind of funny. Yeah, that's something to look forward to. That's after the episode 290 is the recap 25, the telenovela recap, which is one of my all-time favorite scenes. I may be more excited about the telenovela recap than I am about the telenovela episodes. Okay, so that's what we got coming there. Yeah, that's your upcoming KK agenda, so that you guys have that down. As far as what took so long, I'll try and be brief about this. Basically, there's 3 different factors that went into why these Turkish episodes took so damn long. One of them, I mean, it would be my fault. One of them is YouTube's fault. And then the other one would just be, you just can't help it. It's just the nature of making the episodes. And I guess I should talk about that first. We were dealing with some really long scenes. Some really long scenes with some really tough copyright settings. The toughest copyright settings I've ever ran into. And one of the things is, the longer you make your video, typically the tighter the settings get. They tighten up and get more sensitive as your video gets longer. So I was already dealing with the tightest settings I've ever encountered, dealing with these marathon scenes, making this longer video, and that just compounded the difficulty to make the episode. And that's really something that can't be helped. That's just something you're always going to run into with this. There's nothing you can do about it. Now, again, you won't always have settings that tight. You won't always have scenes that long. I just happened to pick the 3 longest scenes we've ever covered to date. As of episode 290, those are the 3 288, 289, and 290 are the 3 longest scenes we've ever done. And I mean, 289 is a 45-minute scene. It's the longest scene I've ever seen. It's a lot of scenes. And 290, 288, I cut some of that stuff out and showed it in the commentary, a little bit of it, because it was just too much to put in the episode. And 290, one of the difficulties there was episode 290 all came from one episode. That's all the scenes from episode 290 come from one piece of content, one episode of a show. With 289, it came from 4, primarily 2, but 4. Same thing with 288. So when I had to do claims, they'd come in 2 at a time or more. With 290, they were coming in 1 at a time, and that made it even more difficult. So you just can't help those things. It's just what it is. Beyond that, as far as what's out of my control, or as far as my responsibility in it, this didn't have to take as long as it did. I like to show as much stuff as I can. So sometimes I go through things individually instead of just attacking it all at once, if that makes sense. And it's my fault too, because one of the things, you got to know your enemy when you go to battle. And I didn't know anything about these copyright claimants when I started the projects. 288 I did, but 289 and 290, which were the ones that really took the time. 288, there was a version of it that was actually uploaded to patrons 2 months before that was released. And that's kind of another thing. Maybe I'll talk about this in another video. There's these copyright inconsistencies that have been happening, where if you have the same video and you upload it on 10 different accounts, 8 of the accounts the video is fine, but 2 of them there's a delayed claim in them. So it's like, their computer just doesn't read everything the same. That's what happened with 288, but that was not a difficult episode to make at all, because their settings weren't as bad. Had I known what I was getting into with episode 289 and 290 from the start, I could have attacked those projects in a very different way, and they would not have taken that long. They still would have taken a long time, because they were monsters, but it wouldn't have been like that. I could have handled that more directly and just went, okay, I'm not screwing around with this. But I didn't know what I was getting into. So from now on, I'm going to fix that. I'm going to do like test runs with stuff to try and really see what the settings are. What are the copyright settings? Try 25 seconds and 20 seconds, 15 seconds, and see, what can I do, and just do the edit based off of that. So we can't afford to waste this time anymore. It was just too much. And then the third thing, it's what's on YouTube. YouTube's copyright system is broken. They do not tell you about what are called potential claims. Potential claims are these claims that are hidden inside of your video until the claimant logs in. This is what's going on with episode 98. Unless they sign in and activate it, you don't know it's there. It's there, it's been reported to them, but you don't know that. And that's what YouTube needs to fix. When the day comes when they start telling us content creators about these hidden claims in our video, that these are in there, and they have an active claims and then potential claims on their new checks feature. I mean, it looks like they're trying to make some progress on this. They just don't have potential claims there. They only have active ones. So when the day comes where they separate that and they have active and potential, something you should be aware of that might happen, hopefully, I've been leaving feedback, trying to get them to fix this. I mean, it's a new thing, so hopefully they'll do it. When that day comes, it totally changes the game. When that day comes, we never have to wait for anything ever again. I will know the answer from the jump, and I will be able to attack the project without hesitation or question or have to wait on to get any answers. That will totally change the game. So if YouTube fixes its mistake, and then I fix mine and attack things better, we'll never have to wait again, even if the projects are extremely complex like these ones I just did. They would have taken some time, but they wouldn't. I mean, I've been working. We started the Turkish cycle 5 months ago, okay? But I started working on those projects before that even. You know, you're talking 6-7 months of working on those, and that never should have happened. Like I said, there's a lot of things that went into that, but you know, it's I bear some of the responsibility, YouTube bears some of the responsibility, and some of it just can't be helped. But moving forward, I'm going to do everything that I can to, when I start these projects, to make sure I know what I'm getting into before I start them, and you know, to not screw around. You know, if I have to cut out a little bit here and there, or do some editing, do some flashbacks, do some reverse footage, I'm going to do whatever I have to do. Please stop, some of you stop complaining about that, by the way. I do what I have to do to make the videos, and you need to understand that. It's not always something I want to do, but sometimes I have to do it. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes it's just because I have to. So you got to take what you can get. So that's what we got. You got telenovelas, 6 degrees of Turkish separation, 10 episode Olympic cycle. That's what's coming. Recap on telenovelas, recap on the Olympics. Yeah, so and the fan request has been bumped. The one I had selected for sure is going to be used on the Olympics. So you guys are going to get some good stuff. You can keep sending the requests. It's not a big deal. I look at them. I may use them if they're good. So yeah, but you have a lot of good things coming. I mean, episode 290 by itself is just one of the greatest things ever. And you know, a lot more coming after that. So that's what we got. I'm working hard. I'm working on the digital creations. I know you guys are waiting on those. There's a lot. Got that. I still haven't released the first Office Chronicle yet publicly, and there is a second Office Chronicle I haven't made. You know, just stuff we're getting to as far as live action filming. That's obviously something I want to get back into. You know, we're still not quite there yet. A lot of stuff. So I try and give you guys as much of my time as I can. I appreciate the support. Check out our live action content if you haven't yet. Yeah, and get ready for this stuff because it's gonna be good. So I will see you guys in the coming commentary. Thanks.